What's up, guys? Alpine Gremlin again here with some more World of Tanks. Before we start off this video, I just have a couple announcements to make. First off, you're gonna for a little while in this, and especially in this gameplay that I'm gonna show, my mods are a little bit different. And this is I'm using Quickie Baby's 8.8 mod pack. I much prefer Locustan's mod pack, just because of the way everything's set up. But Locustan hasn't updated his mod pack yet, so I'm just waiting on that. But for now, Quickie Baby's mod is definitely enough. So you'll notice, if you watch his live streams, it'll look pretty much exactly like his video. And I am going to be keeping his garage though, because I love this Berlin garage mod. Also, my family is going to be moving for in the next week or so, and I'm gonna post up when this is happening. But basically, my computer is gonna have to be getting moved, and we're gonna have to get our internet set up. So I'm gonna not have any internet for I won't have any internet for a certain period of time. I'm not sure, but you don't expect a video until I post up that I'm back, because obviously I won't have any way of actually uploading the videos to YouTube. So just keep that in mind, and I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I'm gonna put out at least this video before that happens, maybe one more, I'm not sure. So let's get down to it. This is the Object 140 Soviet Tier 10 medium tank, the new one that it released with update 8.8. Update 8.8 has brought a lot of several things to the game. We've got a new map called Tundra. They've brought back two old maps that used to be hated, but now are actually pretty good. Serene, in my opinion, Serene Coast and Kamarin. And you can see in the tech tree, we've got new Soviet mediums, obviously, and we have a couple new German vehicles, as well as a lot of rebalancing, or quote-unquote rebalancing of the German vehicles. I'm not really sure how they've actually affected them, because I don't play German vehicles that much, though I do drive the higher tier German tank destroyers, so I'm sure once I actually play those, I will see. Teams have been rather garbage lately. It's been tough to get some good gameplay, but I finally got a good video that I have lined up for you guys. But anyway, this is the Object 140. What can I say about it? Well, it's basically another T62A. A lot of people will say that it's better than the T62A, but in my opinion, I think it's the same, if not a little bit worse. What are the differences? Well, you can see visually there really isn't much. They're almost identical in appearance. The only difference is the 140's got 50 less hit points, 50 less HP than the T62A. It's about 2 tons lighter. It has 5 kilometers per hour faster in terms of its top speed. Its traverse speed is 2 degrees slower than the T62A. It's got a little less hull armor. Turret armor is pretty much the same, and the turret traverse speed is 8 degrees slower than the T62A. So that's something you have to watch out for when you're flanking enemies and circling them. Is that turret is going to be a little bit more difficult for the turret to keep up with what you're doing than the T62A. But overall, it's pretty much identical. Now, hull down, it's not as effective, and this is why I think that if it's not the same, it's a little bit worse, because you can't play this thing. Yes, you have a little bit more gun depression than the T62A, but the turret, I think, seems like it's not as effective. First of all, unlike if you look at the turrets between the T62A and the 140, the T62A's turret, these hatches, first of all, this hatch is a no hitbox zone from the front. That light is a no hitbox zone. The only way you can actually damage it is if you put one right here underneath the viewport. This area right here is like the only hitbox zone. If you hit that viewport, it's just gonna take out the viewport. Actually, it won't do any actual damage. So you actually have to hit here, this little tiny, and that's a very difficult shot to make at any range. Yes, some guns can do it, but you have to be very lucky. Also, this hatch is non-existent. The 140, however, you could see not only has that hatch there and is easier to hit, but this hatch is also easier to hit. As opposed to just hitting this area underneath the viewport, they can also hit this part. Additionally, if you see this line is a good guide. Right here, this line, it seems like the turret is actually subjected to the same weakness that the T-34, T-29 American heavies suffer from. Whereas, if you fire a shot and it has enough penetration, high caliber guns, if you shoot here and you don't, if you shoot at the cupola, but the shell goes down and hits and strikes the top area here, it can penetrate because this area is really thin. Yes, it's got an intimidating front, but this top here, higher caliber guns can easily get through that. So, same thing here. This front, unless you're throwing you can't penetrate this unless you're throwing premium rounds. They can, if they try to put a shot here, but they end up just striking here, it'll actually go through because it's weaker. That 240 millimeters of hull armor is actually deceptive. It doesn't apply to this area, as so I've seen. This is just based on what I've seen. Also, the gun mantle. T-62A's gun mantle is pretty tough. The 140's gun mantle is not so much. I've had regular rounds go through the gun mantle every time. So you can play this like a T-62A, and I have had a lot of success playing it like a T-62A, but it can get you into trouble because it does not have the same exact strength as the T-62A. So in my opinion, if it's not the same as the T-62A, it's a little bit worse, and I might get some hate for that, but I just do not think that it is as good. This is my T-54 crew that I have in it. They've all got brothers in arms. Commander's got Sixth Sense. The rest of my guys have camouflage, and they're training in repairs. Same thing with my T-62A crew, so identical. Only difference is that my T-62A crew is training in their 4th skill. What did I do here? Standard pub match loadout for my T-62A. 40 APCR rounds and 10 HE rounds, so 10 regular and 10 high explosive. Equipment, enhanced gun laying drive, wet ammo rack, and a improved ventilation. And same thing with the T-62A. So yeah, I loaded out exactly the same as the T-62A. So there really isn't many differences. And if you guys are wondering how I got it so fast, I just power ground the absolute shit out of the T-54 before it released. T-54 I kept in the garage, but it is a shadow of its former self because I took out its crew and stripped it of all of its equipment. Same thing that I did with the Foch, but I do keep them in the garage because hopefully if I can get a good crew in the future, I will refill them up and get them refitted out for battle. So anyway, without further ado, let's show some gameplay. Alright, so if you guys are still here after that lengthy garage review, we're on Ensk. This game was my Ace Tanker badge. Now, as I said, I've been able to have some success in this tank, but not as much as I would be able to in the T-62A now. I probably just have to adjust for the shortcomings that I have believed to have found in this tank. So I just have to be a little bit more cautious, I think. I think a lot of it is on me. But this was a very good game. I was platooned up with, you guys have probably recognized him by now, platooned up with Volker Ball. He's in his Leopard 1. And we're going to the field here as opposed to the cap. Because obviously on Ensk that is the critical flank, and you don't want to get surrounded as you go to the cap. You really want to send a lot of your guys to the field, and this team seems to get it. So you can see there already. You can see how much slow, if you watch how the turret turns in the T-62A videos, you can see just how much more slowly it turns. I take a dodgy shot at the Leo 1 and miss, but I do put one right through the two between the building and the smokestacks. I thread that, and I'm going to do it again because this Leopard just doesn't know how to move to a new position. But now T-110E5 is here. He takes a shot at that Patton. Now, I move back, and the T110E5 just tracks me, so he doesn't do any physical damage. I keep an eye out because we're going to get flanked by an E100. And boom, right there. Patton takes a nasty hit. So I'm telling Volker, there's an E100 over here, dude. I'm going to have to do something about that. So now we're ready for him to come back around. And he's going to try and finish off. He's going to try and take another shot at that Patton, but he's going to pay for it. He trades a lot of health to get that shot in. So I take a shot at that T110's lower glacis, but he takes a shot at me, and I came off a little bit worse, so I'm doing the medium tank thing now. E100's down. So we're going to do something that I should have done from the that I should do now, because, well, brawling with heavies is not the medium tank thing to do, so I'm going to go around and flank. Unfortunately, you'll see someone spots me. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was proximity spotting, but I do get spotted, but my flanking maneuver kind of gets disrupted because I have to take out these guys too. As you can see, my gun gets damaged, so I'm going to have to repair that. And I see an E100 is coming around this way, so we're not going to stay here. Let's not do that and die. So we're going to immediately fall back. No point in backing up and showing him our frontal armor because he's going to penetrate us wherever he shoots us. So, with the exception of the turret, but he's probably not going to do that. But I'm used the other E100 as cover. As you can see there how I adjusted myself. And I make it back into friendly lines successfully. Now, Volker's taken a lot of damage over there. So, it's on me to come and support him. Take a shot at that T62A. I take one more shot. We trade one more shot, but I definitely am coming off worse here, so I'm going to back off. And you can see right there that Object 263 is going to get a nasty surprise from that Death Star, who comes in and just lights him up. So now that he's out of the picture, we can focus on the T62A. But I decide, well, let's just finish off this guy. So he's only at 139 HP. I put one into his side, take him out. So I try to get a shot on the T62A right here, but I should have really just gone after him. It would have probably saved me a little bit of trouble. But I didn't, and he got away for now. E100 comes around the corner. I'm at 479 HP, and if he penetrates me, then yeah. But the T62A and I trade one more shot, but he came off worse that time. Now, Volker and I make a little bit of a mistake here. We charge him, the C100, because at first we think we didn't pay attention to his loadout. He doesn't have the E100's 150mm gun. He's using the Mouse's gun, which has a much faster reload. And Volker's only at 366 HP. I'm at 185 HP. And that Mouse's gun not only has the pen to get through us because we're just mediums, but also has enough alpha damage to take us out. So Volker gets nailed by him, but now I know he's reloading, so I get around and I break right and use the cover of the building. Now he tries to follow me, gets hit again. I take him out. Now it would have been a little bit more difficult if he hadn't taken that hit. I would have had to hit him twice, so I would have had to retreat back behind the building some more and wait for him to come around that corner. So now there's a Jagdpanzer 100 and a T110E4 left as I expertly run into those support pillars, the support stanchions on that grain elevator. So the E100, our Jagdpanzer 100 and the T110E4 are going at it right now. So I need to go over and give our Death Star some help. So I flank around. These two are locked in a position where they really can't penetrate each other reliably. So there's not much they can do, so I have to get this E4 out of my Death Star's hair. So now we have a rather interesting situation. This Death Star right here has backed himself into a corner, and obviously we're not going to go in there and try to take him out because we're going to lose that fight. So we're waiting for the rest of our guys to stack up. You can see we've got the patent driver over there doesn't really seem to understand the concept of flanking right there. He's kind of just, I don't know, he's trying to play peekaboo with a Death Star. So it's not something that I would recommend. But we're waiting. Now our E4 says that he already used his repair kit on the track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to track him really quickly. And this is when I say, well, I'm a medium tank, so screw this. And he's tracked facing the other direction, so doing the medium tank thing, I'm gonna flank around and get some shots into his side. Now the Death Star kills one of our Death Stars. An expert miss by me. But oh well, now I'm on his flank and there's really not much he can do. So I get behind him, put one into his rear for the win. So 5,249 damage done. 5 kills. Definitely one of the better games I've had in this thing. Like I said, I think a lot of its shortcomings are, you know, make it a little bit weird to play. Just because it's just not as effective in hull down position as the T62A, and because of that, I think I get into trouble in this thing. So I'm gonna have to make slight adjustments in my playstyle. But playing it like a T62A is not a terrible thing, and you can get results, as you can see here. So anyway, guys, that's it for that gameplay. So here's the after action report. You can see we with a special we got 108,114 credits. I don't have premium, so I didn't. So I only got well. This is base XP. 1,222 experience is not bad for a base XP score. With premium, I would have gotten a lot more credits and experience, but I do not have premium at the current time. You could see we pretty much did damage to all of their big heavy hitters, which is good. You know, we should be. I actually, if you look at that, I didn't do damage to anything but tier 10s, so that's what a tier 10 should be doing, is engaging other tier 10s. So pretty good. Killed 5 of those tier 10s off, and did 5,222 damage to the enemy team. So very, very, well, not very, very good, but pretty good result. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and more to come, hopefully in the near future.